way it interfered in my match. The minute I turned around after he interfered, David Michael come out and went all water boy on me. It's like, 1, 2, 3.
That's no good. Speaking of water boy, Wild Willie D. It's my night off. My night off, Payne.
Exactly.
My opponent didn't show up. I don't know why. It's reasons that are unknown. Here comes Wild Willie D. Knocked me out of my flip-flops. You know, I was on my night off, you know, dressing casual. He got me in the ring, knocked me out of my flip-flops. Let me tell you something. That was uncalled for. That was uncalled for. You know it, all the fans know it.
Well, David Michael, you better enjoy your short run as TV champion. We done broke your hand. Next time I think we'll just go ahead and break your neck.
Hello everybody, welcome to Era Wrestling. I'm Daniel Terry along with John Diamond. And John, what a great show we had this past Saturday at the Oneida.
You know, Payne and old Richards has a reason to be mad.
Well folks, you saw at the top of the show, they are not happy campers.
They were cheated. That's why.
Well, turnabout's fair play. You heard that old saying.
What did they do to deserve this?
I don't know. We seen here a few weeks back. They break a dude's hand. Didn't they hit a guy with a cane? I think it was your cane. Am I mistaken on that? They hit a guy with a cane.
How far back to the past you going to go? Just keep digging. Just keep digging.
You're talking about this past Saturday. Ain't we already past that? We're talking about a week ago. Anyway, folks, some big things went down. With Era Wrestling June 9th. We appreciate everybody that came out and joined us for that show. What was some other big things that took place June 9th, John, other than Payne losing the TV title?
Well, one thing I am happy about is what happened to Paul Buchannan. I probably have to narrow it down there because it wasn't his night either.
It was not his night. And we're going to be letting you guys in on a little bit of that during this show. Some big news, since you mentioned that, some big news that Paul Buchannan and the rest of us found out. The president of the board of directors paid us a visit. We finally got to find out who the guys behind making the matches here in Era Wrestling. And I think there were a lot of people in the crowd, and I know a lot of people that were there wrestling that night that were surprised.
I was surprised because what happened to the beard?
Well, folks, we're talking about none other than J.J. Wendell made an appearance. And I know you probably got some mixed feelings about that.
On one hand, I love how much he hates Paul Buchannan and how much he enjoys torturing Paul Buchannan. On the other hand, I hate J.J. Wendell.
Well, J.J., much like yourself, much like Paul Buchannan, made some decisions in his career where maybe not the most likable guy for a lot of the employees we have here in Era Wrestling, but he is very smart, very intelligent when it comes to the wrestling business. And I, for one, after this past Saturday, I liked the way that he controlled the show. I don't know how you felt about it, but you know, his mindset is the same as everyone else's here at Era Wrestling. I want to give you guys at home exactly what you came to see, and that's wrestling.
There is one thing I didn't like about what J.J. Wendell done.
What
he done to Noah Richards.
What he did to Noah Richards?
We'll see it later.
Well, we are going to see that later, and I'm sure you'll have some comments about it later, but as I said, J.J. Wendell doing an extraordinary job helping us run the office here in Era Wrestling. What's some other big things that happened?
Well, again, Paul Buchannan, he gained a guy, he lost a guy.
Well, that's the breaks, man. That's the breaks. You win some, you lose some. Also, a big debut from Jeremy Brake that we're going to be bringing you right here this week, and you folks are going to enjoy that match. And Jeremy, a great addition here to Era Wrestling, got an opportunity to meet a lot of his fans there, and actually we got an opportunity to film some of those interviews. So we were real pleased to have Jeremy on board with us. Folks, we're going to break away, and we're going to show you a match, and we'll be right back.
And there's Daniel Terry and JJ Wendell sticking their nose and know his business.
We don't have any.
Not even prepared to wrestle. He's wearing flip flops. This is day off. Holly Stone's not here. He's injured. He shouldn't have to compete.
Well, the way I see it, my opponent didn't show up.
They just won't listen to him. That's the problem.
Well, if we got somebody over here that'd like to have a match, come out.
And of course they're going to bring in Wild Willie D. He's volunteered.
I've got flip-flops on. I'm not wrestling anybody in flip-flops. If you boys want to wrestle, you get you a guy in a striped shirt.
Just because he's buddies with Harley Stone, he thinks that gives him the right. And look at that, just a cheap shot. I mean, look at that. He knocked the man out of his flip-flops. Almost knocked the camera person over.
All right, John, I can get back over at the table, man, do this match with you. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, you would.
Here we go, man. Wild Willie D versus the barefooted Nora Richards.
He shouldn't be in the ring. It's his night off. Look at those closed fists.
How do you know they're closed, man?
I can see them from here.
Closed. What do we got right here?
He tried to stop it, and he did this time.
Maybe Nora Richards will bring his boots next time.
Why would he bring them? He's not expecting to wrestle.
He's booked on the show, man.
But he knew Harley Stone wouldn't be here.
And what's he doing right here? He may be getting out of Dodge.
He's smart, is what he's doing. He might have a broken toe.
And folks, I think Nora Richards done for the night.
He can get back in there if he wanted to. He's the better man. He knows when to walk away. He might have a broken toe. This might be a serious injury.
What do we got right here?
He's getting his flip-flops. That's what we got.
So, folks, looks like Nora Richards is going to take his flip-flops and go home.
This isn't funny.
I think it's pretty
None
funny.
of this is funny.
I think it's funny. What do we got right here? Wild Willie D picking up a big win.
By count out.
Hey, this is Wild Willie D. I'm here with Aaron's Angels. This is my number 1 fan group here. We're here tonight to take care of business for Era Wrestling.
Hello, everybody. Daniel Terry here with the Era Wrestling Board of Directors President. Now, JJ, some big things went on here at the show tonight. Probably one of the biggest things was Paul Buchannan. To everybody that was here at the show, and myself included, doesn't seem like you guys get along that well, do you?
Paul Buchannan. Yeah, we've got some history. Me and Paul, we go way back through several different organizations. Not counting all the times that I got done dirty by Paul, one way or another. So, I kind of think whatever I dish out to Paul, it's well worth it.
Well, now, speaking of that, Paul is in the opinion, from what I've been told, that he's not getting enough airtime here on Era Television. He's not getting enough title shots here with Era Wrestling. You want to comment on that?
It's a little bit hard to decipher what Paul says, because you've got to wade through all the whining and complaining and crying that Paul does. It's like his trademark. But yeah, that was one of his big complaints. I've got several emails and several calls that he whines and plays. He don't get enough airtime, FaceTime. He wants to be there. That's Paul. He wants to be right there. Well, just like I told him tonight, his men need to start winning a lot more, because the champions gonna get a little more time. A little more ring time, a little more TV time. Or, just like I told him, if he don't like that deal, he can start paying for time, commercial time. Paul can make him a commercial, say whatever he wants. He can get a cut of 30-second commercial, a minute commercial, 3-minute commercial. Whatever Paul wants, Paul can pay for. Let him crack open that billfold and pay. It'll be good for the company, good for us. Might not be the best in the world for people that have to listen to those commercials, but he wants more face time, that's the way it's going to be.
Okay, and John, this week right here on Air Wrestling, the debut of Jeremy Brake and Eric Danielson. There you see them locking right up there.
Who exactly chose Jeremy's opponent?
I guess it would have been the board of directors.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from Eric here, but he's been wrestling less than a year, hasn't he?
What's your point?
Well, I mean, the point is, Jeremy Brake, you know, he comes in, you know, all this hype, and he even shows up with a Kentucky State title around his waist. He wants competition. He wants to prove himself, and he faces, well, basically a rookie.
Well, you know, Jeremy signed on with us for this show late, and Eric Danielson, a guy who stepped in and said, yeah, I want this match. There you see a Japanese arm drag by Danielson.
And, I mean, he's taking him to the ropes there. He's put the boots to him and a nice chop.
Yeah, and he's not looking too bad, John. I mean, I understand what you're saying, though. I don't disagree with you.
It looks like, yep, he's going for a chop of his own.
And we got, what, a snapmare coming out of the corner?
Yep. Well, I mean, look at him. I mean, Brake has a lot more experience than Eric does. I don't know. To me, Jeremy's always talking about competition, and this seems odd to me. That's all I'm going to say. It seems odd.
Well, you know, we'll have to wait and see. Eric Danielson's up-and-coming talent. You know, we've talked about him before here on the show, and Eric's one of those guys who you can see some big things on the horizon for him. He's a good athlete, and there you see both those guys shaking hands. I think, if I understood correctly, these guys have met each other in the ring before. If I'm not mistaken, John, Jeremy hailing from Somerset, Kentucky, and Eric, there you see a good fisherman suplex right there, John.
Eric is from Corbin.
Eric's from Corbin, so these guys have met each other several times on the circuit in Kentucky.
Well, you're proving my point. It seems odd. I mean, he wants competition, and he's constantly talking about Kentucky, and it just so happens that he's in the ring with somebody that he may already have experience with. We know is from Kentucky. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he had some sort of say in who his opponent would be.
Well, who would you like to see him wrestle?
I don't know. Let's see him prove himself. Let's see him face someone like Death Stalker.
He's got a big clothesline and a bulldog out of the corner.
That was a nice bulldog. And let's see him,
and Wendell Cochran getting a 2 count right there.
Let's see him face Death Stalker, Payne, Noah Richards, someone like that.
Well, I'm sure you're going to see that in the coming weeks here in Air Wrestling. Jeremy Brake, what's he going to do right here? Oh. Right across his throat, I guess, John.
Right across the throat.
Jeremy seems to know what he's doing in the ring. I don't really know how long Jeremy's been in the business. But there you see a neck breaker.
Oh, I'm sure Jeremy'd be more than happy to tell you. He don't mind talking about himself.
And Eric getting a foot on the ropes. That positioning right there may have saved Eric.
He looks like he's going.
Well, here he floats over. What's he going to do now?
Get him from behind. And no, he's not getting the roll up that easy.
And misses the clothesline and
power slam.
Oh man!
See, He probably could have got a 3 count there.
I don't really know why he picked him up right there.
He looks like he got a point to prove. Oh, face first.
What's Jeremy Brake call that? I
have no idea. Probably something to do with Kentucky.
It's a very good possibility.
And he got his.
You see our official Wendell Cochran raising the hand of Jeremy Brake. He is your winner.
He won his debut match. Didn't really surprise me.
What's he doing here? He's going to shake his glove.
Is he?
Is he going to shake the man's hand?
I mean, come on.
Yeah, there he goes. He's got his belt.
And surprise, surprise, he gets his big win.
I'm Jeremy Brake, the Kentucky champion. This is my fan and friend, Matthew. We're here to invite everyone to watch Air Wrestling on MVR TV Friday nights at 7:30.
The man was in flip-flops. He had no business in there.
Yeah, he was in flip-flops. He came to the show. He wasn't prepared to work. He was prepared to get his paycheck, though.
He didn't expect he'd have to work.
John, come on, man. He was scheduled to wrestle. And another thing, you're saying, well, he shouldn't have had to work, he had night off because Harley Stone wasn't there.
Right.
How do you know Harley Stone wasn't going to be there?
I don't know how he knows the things he knows.
Well, you saw the segment with me and J.J. Wendell, and I agree with our president.
That Paul should have to buy airtime?
Yes, I agree with that too. I also agree that
We don't have to watch it, do we?
There's something fishy. Yeah, you'll have to watch if he pays for it. I don't like it any more than you do. To me, that's akin to getting stuck with John Diamond for a co-host.
Hey.
Well, anyway, let's move on. What else did we get to see that last segment?
Well, let's see.
Got another big win for a new star here in Air Wrestling.
Kentucky State Champion, Jeremy Brake.
Kentucky State Champion, and it was great to see Jeremy come in with that belt. And of course, that's a belt that's not recognized by Air Wrestling. He defends that mostly in the state of Kentucky. But it was good to see Jeremy bring that belt down, and glad to see that he's been successful in other places that he's at, along with being successful here in Air Wrestling, him picking up a big win against Eric Danielson.
Nobody think it's odd that he brought a unsanctioned title with him?
Well, honestly, I thought it was a bit odd, but you know, he came in. He asked Mr. Wendell if it'd be okay if he wore it out, and he told him yes. And I don't see a problem with it. It is a little odd, a little unorthodox. You don't see that a whole lot, but he's proud that he's the Kentucky champion, his home state, and he should be. He should be proud of
he
that.
talks about Kentucky a lot.
Well, I guess that's just the way it is, man. He's proud of where he's from. I don't know what's going to happen with the Kentucky title in the future. I don't know if that's something that we're going to see again, or if it was just a special treat that we got to see that night.
Hopefully, he was just proud that he recently won it. What was it, 2.5, 3 weeks ago, something like that.
He won it the week, I think the week before show, so it would have been 2 weeks this week. So a new champion, and once again, just proud. What else we got going on this week here on the show?
Well, we got that big main event coming up.
That is a big main event, folks. We made the decision to show everybody at home a little bit of what happened June the 9th. And one of the biggest things that happened, Draven Lee took on the Death Stalker. And that was what we thought was a severe mismatch.
Well, yeah, everybody would think that.
I mean, what's the weight difference? I mean, what Death Stalker come in at? We did new weigh-ins.
Well, you can't believe what Paul
We did
Buchannan
weigh-ins
writes
at the
down.
show. We did weigh-ins at the show, man. He came in like, what, 348, 350? I want to say somewhere around in there. A big dude.
350 something, yeah.
Every bit as mean as he is big. And I'm looking forward to the folks at home getting to see that match. I think they're going to be surprised by what they see. And we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We're going to bring you that match, folks. And I know that I'm looking forward to what lies down the road for both of these guys.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens at this match.
Folks, we'll take you to the ring.
Okay, John, a huge
Oh,
match.
he's after him right. But as soon as the bell rings, he's right after him.
I tell you what, Draven Lee, he may have bit off a little bit more than he could chew right here, but he's doing something real smart, John.
I bet you a nickel the Death Stalker could chew a lot.
He's staying away from the Death Stalker. That's smart.
Wouldn't you?
Well, sure.
Look at him lounging with the crowd.
Well,
just sitting over there.
He's a crowd favorite and that kind of thing right there. That's why, John.
That don't win matches.
But there you see Paul Buchanan trying to give some instructions. I don't know how much good that does.
Does he understand anything Paul says? He doesn't act like it. He doesn't listen to him.
Back in the ring, he took a big shot right to the ribs, and man alive, he is about to stomp Draven Lee to death right there.
Sitting in the crowd, jawing with the kids didn't help him none, did it?
Well, it remains to be seen. And there you see Death Stalker even going after the referee, look like right there.
Was he talking to him or growling at him?
Probably growling at him, I would say.
Never heard him say a word.
And here Death Stalker saying, come on. And right here you see an example of what Draven Lee's going to have to do. He's obviously got the quickness advantage. Here he goes, he's on the run again.
Oh yeah, obviously he's quicker than Death Stalker. But, okay, he's smarter than Death Stalker too, probably. But is he smarter than Paul Buchanan?
Well, now, Paul Buchanan, you know, anybody that knows the man, they know he's good at what he does. And he is smart. And there you see, I don't know if you guys at home could see that or not.
Death Stalker tearing the ring down?
Yeah, Death Stalker. Watch this. He almost tears the ring down. Everything the man does. 350 pounds of nothing but mean. And here he gets almost a 3 count. Draven just barely gets his shoulder up.
I still have doubts about 350 pounds. I'm pretty sure that's counting one leg, not all of him.
I'd be inclined to agree with you, John. I tell you what, man, the guy gets bigger every time we see him here in Era Wrestling. I don't know what Paul Buchanan's got him eating.
I mean, does Paul just feed him his victims? I mean, every time he beats somebody, does he just eat them?
Well, there you see him hitting him with some big shots right to the chest.
I hope Draven's face paint's non-toxic.
You know, a lot of people might be wondering at home, too, why would you hit a man with those big shots? There you see him going again to the shoulders. What that does is that actually knocks the breath out of your opponent. And if you can't catch your breath, you're almost useless in the ring, aren't you, John?
If you can't breathe, you can't do anything.
But you see here, the Death Stalker, much like, you know, we've talked about Pain in the past, his game plan is, what's he doing, taunting him, telling him to come on?
That's not very smart.
No, but Death Stalker's game plan is just to beat the daylights out of everybody he gets in the ring with.
And punching Death Stalker in the head is not going to help either.
Yeah, he ain't going to win that battle. He can forget that.
He don't even react to pain like a normal person does. And he just squashed him in the corner. I mean, that you're pinned between steel turnbuckles and 350 pounds, supposedly.
Well, now, John, Draven Lee's, as the old saying goes, he might be in dire straits right now. This might be it.
He might not even be conscious.
Death Stalker's beating on him pretty good here, John, and all those shots that you see Draven Lee taking, they're all hard, rough shots, and like I said earlier, they are knocking the wind out of Draven. Here you see a choke.
See, once again, I mean, you can't catch your breath if you're getting choked.
And it looks somewhat of a game plan to, if you take the quicker man's wind from him.
Yeah, a lot of people go for the legs.
Yeah.
But if they can't breathe, well, that's a game that you'll win quicker.
I don't know that Death Stalker would be one of those guys you'd look at and think that he would have the technical prowess to dismantle a man's leg, though. But he looks like he's having a lot of success trying to cave Draven's rib cage in.
I wonder if that's some sort of instinct Death Stalker has, or is Paul Buchanan actually kind of getting through to him? Nice drop kick, but it's like drop kicking a wall.
Getting through to
that one done it. He
put him down, and Death Stalker throwing a fit.
Oh, kicked him in the heart.
And Draven Lee mounting some offense. All the folks here at Oneida High School, they are squarely behind Draven Lee. What's he going for here? A little rolling thunder. Nails it.
See, now,
Going
that'll
for
knock the wind out of
cover.
Death Stalker.
2. And, oh,
Throw
man,
him out of the ring.
what a kick out. And see, that's the power advantage. And here the man's right up. I think he just got a little disoriented. I don't even know if he was ever in any real danger of being pinned there, John.
I don't think he was. Like I said, he don't react the same way to pain as a normal person. And I don't mean television champion pain.
And now you got the referee administering the 10 count on Draven Lee. I'm tell you what, John, he's having a hard time just making it back into the ring right here.
I don't know why he agreed to this match.
Well, he wants to be TV champion, and in order to be TV champion, we've talked about this in weeks prior, he's going to have to beat...
Big sides.
Yeah, he's going to have to beat Death Stalker. And
1, 2.
That's it.
No,
he barely gets that left shoulder up.
Did Draven do that consciously or subconsciously?
And I'll tell you something else, too. Draven was lucky the referee seen that. Referee a little bit out of position on that. Almost missed it. And there you see another choke.
He puts his weight on the choke. That's 350 pounds on your throat.
And I think I heard Paul Buchannan shouting some instructions in there. I don't think the Death Stalker's really paying that much attention to him, though.
He doesn't seem very...
What's Paul saying? Is he getting on the ref or is he getting on Death Stalker?
I don't know. Looks like both. I mean, the referee's not going to tolerate it. But he's got Death Stalker's attention.
Well, Death Stalker... Wait a minute. Here goes Draven. He's going up top. What's he coming off here with?
He's coming at him, though.
A high cross.
Big
We've seen
body.
this before from Draven. 1, a 2, and a 3. Draven Lee gets the pinfall this week.
I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it.
Draven Lee. And hey, give the assistance to Paul Buchanan for Draven Lee on that big win.
Death Stalker is not going to be happy.
I tell you what, Paul Buchanan might ought to get out of here. We're going to do the same thing. For John Diamond, I'm Daniel Terry. Good night, everybody.